We're excited to have this guy on the show. We don't get him enough. It's Longmire author Craig Johnson, and he's going to be actually in town a week from today. He's going to be at the library. If you're a big Longmire TV show fan, that show is based on his books. And Craig, first of all, man, thanks again for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Hey, Dave, my pleasure. Good to be here.
So, did I read it right? Are you going to be? You might be on C-SPAN this weekend. Aren't you going to the Tucson Book Festival?
I actually am. I've got I'm in Los Angeles right now. And then I swing over to Yuma, where I've got a One City, One Read, where Yuma is reading The Cold Dish, the very first Walt Longmire novel. And then from there, I drive across the desert and go over to Tucson for Tucson Book Festival. And then I make a flight up to Billings, jump in my truck, and drive over to Helena, and then back down through Bozeman, where I'll see you guys.
Holy cow.
Where do you call home, Craig?
Ucross, Wyoming, population 25.
23 today, because you and your wife are gone, right?
That's right. We're out and about. It's kind of nice. It's a little bit warmer down here, I got to admit. Yuma, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be 100 degrees down there. I don't know.
So in Ucross, do they put up a flag when you guys are in town so the town knows that you guys are there and then lower it when you leave?
It's really kind of funny because I have a lot of my, just with the success of the books and the television show and everything, it's been kind of funny because my neighbors will ask every once in a while, they'll say, sometimes people pull up and they ask us, they say, do you know where Craig Johnson lives? Do you want us to tell them, where you live? And I'm like, you know what? If they make it all the way to Ucross, Wyoming, you go ahead and tell them where I live. They can come up. So more than once, I have shared a Rainier beer on the front steps of my ranch house with passing travelers who've made their way to Ucross. It's kind of a fun thing to do.
So now, Craig, do you work on the Longmire show?
I actually do. You are talking to an executive creative consultant is what you were talking to,
Ooh.
Which means I know where the porta potties are on set is what that means.
I was saying the more words, the fancier you are.
No, the more words you are, the further you are from the actual work, I think is what it is. No, they've actually been pretty wonderful about it. It's a really great group of producers and directors, and Warner's been great to work with, and also with Netflix, And in essence, what I do is I go down usually. I just had a meeting last night with the producers discussing, the next season. And then I'll go down at the beginning of the season when they start filming here in a couple of weeks, and then I usually make it down to Santa Fe where they film the television show sometime during the course of filming, simply because I'm on a book tour for the paperback version of The Highwayman that comes out in May. And so I'll see them again then. And then they turn around and they all come up to Buffalo, Wyoming for Longmire Days, which is quite an event to have. But the biggest thing that I do is most of the time is read the scripts. They send me the scripts and I go through and line edit the scripts and give them feedback on a lot of stuff. And that's probably the greatest help that I am to them. I don't know anything about acting. I don't know anything about, lighting or sound or anything like that. But I do know this world, where these characters come from. And I actually, know the characters in the place pretty well and can help them out with some of that.
Now, is this official? This is the last season of Longmire?
This is the last season, the 6th season of Longmire, but we're hearing all kinds of little rumors about potential television movies and also limited season episodes like that, to go further on like it. And so I'm not going to say that this is the absolute end. It's quite possible that there might be a little bit more, somewhere down the road. You never can tell.
I love that. And a lot of people the Longmire posse is going to love hearing that too.
And they're completely responsible, for keeping us alive, an awful lot of the time. It's been kind of amazing. I mean, we were first, with A&E, which was, kind of a basic cable channel like that. And we did 3 seasons with them, and we were the highest rated scripted drama that they ever had. And then they dropped us like that. And I'm not quite sure why like that, but, Netflix grabbed us up really quick. And one of the reasons they did was because there was such an outcry from all of those people that are, so big, in the Longmire world. And, boy, I owe them a great debt of thanks, I got to admit.
So, Amy, do you want me to tell them or do you want to tell them?
No. Dave. So Craig, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Here's the deal, Craig. Her husband...
You never can tell. I might even have an answer. You never know.
Amy's husband watches Longmire religiously, Amy is yet to watch an episode.
Oh, does she read the books?
So I'm trying to get her to read Cold Dish. Her husband seriously has seen every episode. He was really excited when we said we were going to have you on.
I don't know, Dave. You're going to have to get somebody a little more knowledgeable to partner up with on the morning show here. I don't know.
Well, hey, my husband's from Wyoming. Does that help?
I don't, that's just me, but I just don't think Amy's working out. I don't know. It's just, you make your own decisions on that. That's up to you.
Well,
no, it's actually kind of wonderful like that because it's like what I tend to refer to as two separate but equal universes. One of the things that the producers did very early on was they kind of take bits and pieces from all the different books, because, I mean, the books I like to think of are a little bit more on the literary side, as far as mysteries are concerned. And so one of the things they said to me right off the bat was, your books don't break down to a 42-minute teleplay at all. And I was like, thank goodness. If they did, you shouldn't be reading them, for gosh sakes. And so, they take a lot of bits and pieces from the books, but I think, it's very easy to watch the television show and then switch over and read the books, or, if you've read the books, to switch over and watch the television show. And there are comparison contrasts, between the two. But what's really nice is there's two Walt Longmire universes, and it's kind of fun to see how they play off of each other.
So, Craig, I don't know if you'll still answer my question after what Dave just did to me. That bus is still leaving tread marks on me.
No, probably not. No, I'm sorry. I probably won't. I guess so. No, go right ahead.
So is there anything in the series that they took from your story that they maybe twisted or, did something that you go, wow, I wish I would have put that in the book?
I don't know about so much about wish I'd put it in the books as much as, they change a lot of different things. I mean, one of the things they'll do is when they take a plot from one of the books and put it in the television show, they'll switch the ending and do something different with it. And I asked them, I said, why do you guys want to do that? And they said, well, because we don't want to ruin the books for the people that have seen the television show, and we don't want to ruin the television show for the people that have already read the books, which I thought was a pretty remarkably intelligent decision for them to make. There are some characters that they've introduced, that I really like. A. Martinez, who you might recognize, he actually did Powwow Highway was an indie film that he did. He was also, even in The Cowboys, with John Wayne. He's a remarkable performer like that, and he plays Nighthorse, the casino owner there from Montana, and on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. And he's a really remarkable performer, and he's actually going to be with me at the Tucson Book Festival, which should be fun like that. But it's a really wonderful character, and I really like that character. You never can tell. There may be a casino owner that pops up in the book somewhere down the road.
Is it weird watching the show, because you created these characters first, and they're not mirrored on the TV show? So is it weird watching these characters, on the show? Does it feel different?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm always asked, well, what's it like to have Hollywood get a hold of your work? And the only description I can give is that it's kind of like having a house plant, because I had 7 books out before the television show started. And my remarks are that it's like having a house plant in your home for 7 years and then waking up suddenly one morning and having it start talking to you. It's really kind of weird, but it's wonderful too. We're here in Los Angeles, and I'm actually going to go out and have a cup of coffee, with Lou Diamond Phillips later in the afternoon. And so, for a cowboy from a town of 25, this is kind of fun to come out and do every once in a while. But I got to admit, I'm always glad to get back to the ranch and get back home.
Are they? Have you been in an episode yet? Have you done a cameo or anything?
No, they keep asking me, and I keep saying no. I think I'm going to leave the acting to the professionals there, Dave. I think I'll just,
You got to do one.
You got to be like the bartender or a guy in the jail cell.
So. I don't think so. I think I'll let the actors do the acting, and I'll just keep doing the writing. I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, we're excited to have you in town again a week from tonight. That's next Wednesday at the library there on Main Street. Craig's going to be in town.
And I think Country Bookshelf is going to be providing the books for us. So it's always good to have a good, solid, independent bookstore like the Country Bookshelf involved with the show. So.
Well, and are you coming back? I mean, you usually do the motorcycle tour. Does that mean you're going to come back through in the summer, or not necessarily?
You never can tell. I just try and get from one tour to the next. And then I'll worry about that. As you well know, I don't know where I am most of the time. So I have to kind of get basic with some of this stuff, or else I get into trouble.
I don't know when you have time to actually write, but somehow you turn out 2 books a year. So
I do. I'm having a good time. That for me is like breathing. It's pretty easy. I enjoy it.
It's Craig Johnson again. He'll be at the Bozeman Library next Wednesday night. And get there early because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there. Craig, I love the fact that you always take time for little people like us, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Oh, you're not little people at all. Like her, I don't know about. You're not little people at all.
Look at, he didn't even call me Amy anymore. He called me her.
I know. Well, you're just slowly but surely sinking, in this whole miasma of not having been part of the Longmire world. We'll talk when you get around to reading the book.
Well, if I'm still here, Craig, because I just saw our GM come in, I might be getting the boot.
Really, you better take Cold Dish to Mexico with you next week. There you go. So, all right, Craig, take care, man. Good hearing from you, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
All righty, you guys take it easy.